Hello, everybody, and how are you doing this fine day? I'm very happy to see you all, and I hope that everything's okay for you. This is day 5 of our 5-day challenge to eliminate stress. Today, we're going to talk about how to put everything we've learned so far into practice, how to rehearse it and memorize it so it can become part of you, how to evaluate it so if you need to change it or modify it, you can do that. How to reward yourself for your great accomplishment. Give yourself a reward. Compliment yourself. How to modify the plan. Anytime you need to, you can always modify and change and, adapt. And what's next, okay? So let's go on. First, practice. Okay, so you ever heard this joke? How do you get to Carnegie Hall? It's a famous joke for musicians. And the answer was practice, practice, practice. So anything that you do in life, you want to become a great golfer, practice. You want to become a great surgeon, practice. You want to become a great public speaker, practice, etc., etc. Practice will help you. Number 2, from the list of events that previously bothered you, remember that? You will now create some very delightful responses that generate optimism. Use positive words. So you had an event before, and that event bothered you. You hated that. Okay, you hated that situation. You hated that experience. Now you go back and you have the same event or experience, but you create some delightful response. Oh, it was so challenging. It was so invigorating. It really helped me see my weaknesses so I could overcome them. It helped me develop my strengths, my hidden strengths. Okay? And number 3, for each event, you will create 3 scenarios. And then you practice the scenarios. You can practice with somebody else. You can look in the mirror. You can record yourself. You can do videos. How do you respond? Okay? And you rehearse. Once you have the 3 scenarios, then you rehearse them, like I say, in a mirror or whatever. And you evaluate and improve on your performance so you know how to respond, okay? So we're going to prepare for negative or difficult or, obstacles or events that might seem like problems. We're going to prepare and become fully prepared that when they happen, we go, I knew that was happening. In other words, we know it's going to happen. We know there's going to be that event again, okay? We know that event's going to happen again. We already know. Now, how do we respond this time? So, my goodness, how many times have you had an event and it bothered you? And then the same event happened the next day, then the next day, then the next day. And every time the event occurred, it bothered you more and more and more. And then you gave up even trying to respond. And then you held it in. And then it burst out one day and you got screaming and yelling and you lost your temper. Now what we do is we see the event, we go, that's an event that normally triggers a negative perception from me. Now I'm going to have the same event and I'm going to create, with my imagination, I'm going to create a positive response. Then I'm going to rehearse and practice the response. I'm going to review my response. I'm going to evaluate my response and see, did it work? Check out your responses in the real world. That response wasn't so good. It was a little bit better than before. I didn't scream for an hour. I only screamed for 5 minutes. Well, how about screaming for 1 minute and then smiling and, buying your son an ice cream cone the next time, Do they work? Are they effective? What can I do better next time? So what you're doing is you are, in a sense, rewriting or editing the story of your life. The story of your life is not the events that happen to you, because events happen to all of us. It doesn't matter who you are, there's events. The story of your life is how you perceive the events and how you respond to the events. That's the story of your life. What you're doing is you're writing, rewriting, editing, and rehearsing and practicing how to respond to these events. That's your life, okay? Next, you reward yourself when you did a good job. Hey, I made 50% progress today. When you do this each time, Reward yourself. Pat yourself on the back. Hey, good job, Joe. Say good job. Take yourself out to dinner. You and your wife, you and your girlfriend, you and your child. Go out to dinner, go to a movie, have a good time. Give yourself a gift, like a new pen or a piece of clothing. And then reinforce it with positive behavior. That was good. Next time, let's do better. Okay? You modify the plan. If you need to, you can always make necessary changes. You can modify and improve your responses. You can ask others to help you. Hey, John, remember how I responded last week? I was screaming and yelling and running around the house. Did you see me this time? What do you think? Did I respond better? Yeah, you did. Okay, well, I want to make even more of an improvement. Tomorrow, if that same event happens, how can I improve my response? Well, this time just smile and say, thanks for sharing. Okay? Come up with new ideas. All right? Next, make a plan for the next obstacle. Now, every time you have a negative event, you create a positive response. Now, there are negative events that haven't occurred yet that may occur in the future. Maybe they occurred to someone else. You can ask your friend, have you had any negative events occur in your life? Yes, this is what happened to me. This is what happened to me. Oh. How did you respond? I did this, I did that. Then think to yourself, well, what if that same event happened to me? How would I respond? Prepare yourself for some events that might happen to you. Not every possible event, because that's impossible, that's ridiculous. But some events that happen to people around you that might happen to you, you might give a little bit of thought to, okay? Now, when you change, you take baby steps. You don't try to change the world overnight. You certainly don't try to change yourself overnight. Step by step. If you can make a 1% improvement in your behavior every week, at the end of the year, you have made a 50% improvement in your behavior. Wow. That is going to have an extremely positive effect on all of the other behaviors in your life. Okay? One behavior feeds off of another because all of the neurons are intertwined within your brain, and your entire body is a system of different functions. If you don't have enough vitamin D, it affects this. If you don't have enough vitamin A, it affects that. Everything has an effect on everything else because everything in your body, every cell, every thought, every behavior is interconnected. Okay? So you make baby steps and you get stronger as you grow. All right? I just want to say congratulations to you. You did a fantastic job. You went through all 5 days of the 5-day challenge. I am certain that if you put these things that I have shared with you into practice, you will definitely reduce stress. And eventually, you will eliminate stress completely. I don't mean the positive type of stress, because even, athletes have stress, but that stress is good. And students have stress. Some stress is good. We're not trying to eliminate all stress. We're trying to eliminate chronic stress repeated over and over and over. And we're trying to eliminate those negative aspects of stress that cause you to do things that cause you to hurt other people or hurt yourself. Things you are going to regret. Okay? You're not going to eliminate all of stress. This is why this is called stress management. Okay? It's elimination of the negative aspects of stress. I want to thank you again and congratulations. And I will send you some information later on how you can take the next class or course that I will be having on stress management, neuroplasticity, and self-improvement. Thanks again. Bye-bye.